Yes. Hi, my name is Monica Alcaraz. I'm president of the Highland Park Neighborhood Council. I'm also a volunteer at Recycles Resources for the Homeless, and I'm also the CS coordinator for Northeast LA. The shelter is very important in the work that I do day to day. We are assessing people through the coordinated entry system. We are linking them to services, and this is making my job a lot easier. The people that we are seeing are the people that the council is worried about, the people along the arroyo, along the river, and most of the people there, I would say more than half, are from that area. So please support this. It's very important. I sleep there. Rebecca sleeps there. The father sleeps there. And it's all volunteer. Nobody's getting paid to do this. And we're providing a solution for you, for the people there. So please support it.
Thank you. Next speaker is Wayne Spindler, followed by John Walsh and Gus.
Well, here we go again with these emergency last-minute motions that cannot be agendized in the normal human manner. I wonder why, in the age of the internet, why that couldn't have been placed on today's agenda. There was a recess for special meeting in the back regarding closed session. Why couldn't, while you were having the session, that the Sergeant at Arms could not have announced to the public, we are having a special item 1. And under the Brown Act, each speaker, if you wish to speak, can get up to 2 minutes to talk about this item. If you would like to talk about this item, it's on the board. Why all the sneakiness? Why all the underhanded procedural tactics? Where is the transparency? Why can't you be transparent in these things? I'm outside right now. I came in here today. I don't see the Arroyo Seco being flooded today. It's not underwater. It's not flooded. It's not underwater. Nobody's life is in danger. There's nobody bleeding. There's nobody drowning. There's not a fucking emergency right now that requires a 23 to be put on this agenda in this manner. You're only doing it because you know that I brought my puppet today and he was going to talk about this. You know that Gus is here. You know that we're here. You know Antonia's here. You know there's speakers here today that are going to talk. So to prevent us from speaking and doing everything possible to prevent it, you're going to ram something through. We got to run over and put special 1. Everybody's confused when you could just start being open and transparent. But you don't want to be open and transparent. You want to run this city like the Familia Cosa Nostra, and it's the way you're doing it. The Cosa Nostra is alive and well. Attorney General of the United States, shut this down.
Next speaker is John Walsh, followed by Gus and Brian Barajas.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org or J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. The homeless. When I first moved here in the summer of '66, there was no such thing as someone living on the street. No such thing. When I left and came back and moved back to L.A. in '76, very rare that we'd see someone on the street. Maybe once every 4 or 5 months you would see somebody downtown living on the street. Now the city is out of control with Mr. Garcetti and his lover, Mr. Dake. Okay, let me tell you the simple solution to this. You can save a lot of money. We need some place to house the homeless. We already have a very large building with lots of beds. It's called the Getty House. We're asking the mayor to share that house, which goes to each mayor when they're elected, although he has another house, Garcetti. We're asking him to move over and share. I mean, he'll get enormous amounts of publicity. And I want to know, a friend of mine decided to actually spend one night in a homeless shelter. And he had his number one complaint was the stench of the homeless shelter. So let's bring this stench, I don't know, and to the Getty House. Let the mayor and his lover, Glenn Dake, and his wife, let them extend the welcome mat, the way we've extended the welcome mat to Syrian terrorists. Let's extend the welcome mat to all homeless during the rainstorms.
Thank you. Next speaker is Gus, followed by Byron Barajas and Antonia Ramirez.
Yeah. I echo everything Wayne Spindler said. But this is a really important move. I applaud Mr. Huizar for leading it. But where is the transparency? You know, if this really, a few months ago, you declared an emergency on homelessness, an emergency for veteran homelessness, and this comes up out of nowhere. So if this is really an urgent matter, since there isn't a flood today, if it's as urgent as you say it is, please, you're the highest paid city council members in the United States. Take $1,000 out of your $186,000 salary. Each of you, show us how important it is. You make $186 grand, about 4 or 5 times the median income in Los Angeles. Show us how important it is. You make 4 or 5 times the median income in Los Angeles. Take $1,000 out of each of your 15 pockets and really give these people the funds that they need. I respectfully disagree with the father that you don't know how to cure homelessness. You just under-prioritize homelessness in the Los Angeles area. You get up and make grand speeches about emergencies, and then why isn't this on the emergency radar? You knew about it. You know about the homeless issues. So out of nowhere it comes up as a special. And you're throwing this cockamamie bull at us. If it's really important, and I support it, take $1,000 out of each of your pockets and then take $5,000 out of your DWP money each. That'll really give these people a chance to help the homeless. Take $5 grand out of your how many millions of dollars you each get for these little pet projects in your area. $1,000 from you personally, $5,000 from your DWP money. Put it together, 60, 90, about $90,000, $100,000. Add it to the $20,000, and then really do something about homelessness. Stop the BS with us.
Next speaker is Byron Barajas, followed by Antonia Ramirez and Yvonne Michelle Autry.
On Monday, there was a Los Angeles City Health Commission meeting with Bill Rosendahl.
Mr. Barajas, this has nothing to do with Special One, sir.
Well, I think the point of that meeting was that there was about 28,000 homeless individuals. 17,000 of those were unsheltered. And my point is for this is 36 new beds, but the problem is how many do you actually need? I mean, if there's unsheltered people, and I'm just saying that if they're looking for shelter or anything like that, the real numbers should be a little bit more higher than that. So I'm not totally sure if you're committed into actually telling the American people how bad it is. It is bad. But the other aspect is, what is the recovery plan that you will initiate in order to help these folks and also set the example for the world? And so that's my point here. It's 36 new beds, but the real numbers, I don't know what the real numbers are. I don't know what do you actually need? What are the real facts? What are the real numbers? Because 17,000 unsheltered homeless individuals. And then the other question is, have you actually found shelter for those 17,000 individuals? So that's just a question I have for all of you.
Next speaker, Antonia Ramirez, followed by Yvonne Michelle Autry.
I'm sorry, could you start the clock? Thank you very much. I am homeless and a victim of gang stalking crimes, so I'm not talking out of my ass. All these emergency shelters have the following problems. They have MRSA, scabies, bed bugs, staph infections, brawlers, meningitis, encephalitis, legionnaires, loud toxic noise, harassment, theft, junkies, foul smell, stench, gang stalkers. It's unsafe and it's filthy. And why would you want to go into something like that and breathe that stench all night long and infect your lungs? Not a good idea. Being that I am homeless, I am going to ride out the I'm going to stay out in the streets. So if I don't find a place to rent that is free from gang stalkers and political gang stalkers like your political farts, Gilbert A. Cedillo, Felipe Fuentes, Jose Huizar, and Joe Buscaino, and Mitchell Englander, then I will ride out the storm. I'll have to get plenty of plastic covers and sit out and ride out the storm. That's what I will do. But I will not go into a filthy shelter because they're not safe. They are filthy. And how dare you say that these emergency shelters are fit for humans? They're not. Let's not lie to the public. There are genuinely good, law-abiding citizens and clean people like myself who don't have bed bugs, who are not infected, who don't want to be contaminated with this and pass it on to others. I go through great lengths to keep myself clean and my things clean. I Lysol everything I have. I disinfect everything. I try to get into the buses just so with all my load, just so I can wash my things at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Madam
So
President,
I go
speaker's
through
off
hell
topic.
just to keep my things clean. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I also took another option rather than shelter. I went into the Best Western Plus Dragon Gate Inn Hotel. Again, this Best Western Hotel located in Chinatown, 818 North Hill Street, Los Angeles, California. And today I was told by Stephanie I was not allowed to extend my stay. So
Thank
some
you, Ms.
political fart is
Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. Next speaker is Yvonne Michelle Autry, followed by Oscar Mohammed.
I'm so glad that a woman is speaking regarding just what is happening in the shelters to women who are not married. And it's no one's business to whether we are still able to reproduce under this New World Order. Again, illegal entries of our dwellings, whether we are in shelters. I happen to live at the Alexandria, owned by Isaac Shomoff. Okay, just recently relocated from the Hayward. Illegal entries, and they are primarily perpetrated by the maintenance men.
Ms. Autry, you need to speak to the item. This is a special
Okay, well,
one.
it is a shelter because it is my place, is my residence, so it is my shelter. Again, this is to expose the fact that the quality of life that we are all eligible, we are all entitled to. It is our right as Americans is under attack. And again, as my colleague stated, illegal entries. I walk in, there are feces, urine. People have been having sex, sparing, like they're copulating on my sheets, all to diminish.
Ms. Autry, this is about a very specific
Well, this is
shelter.
happening. Well, this is happening in shelters.
But this is about a very specific location in Highland Park, ma'am.
No,
you
that's
need to
not-
speak to special one.
I'm speaking to that particular shelter then, so you cannot shut it off because this will be on the record because you are liable because we are speaking, and it is on the record, so that you know what is happening now to silence those of us who are exposing the fact that our quality of life is under attack by employees, either of the owners, the landlords, or the service providers. Dead cockroaches, lice, bed bugs, germ warfare. I can't keep food in my apartment, in my refrigerator. I come back there's lice, vermin in my apartment just to diminish and lower my standard of living, which is not American and it is not constitutional. And it is exposed and you are liable because now it is on the record. So again, we have a right, again, to a standard of living, whether or not we are single, notwithstanding that we might be recipients of affordable housing benefits.
Next speaker
Right.
is Oscar Mohammed. Thank you. You're done. Your time has expired, ma'am. Mr. Mohammed, I'm going to remind you this is about a very specific item, special one. You need to stick to the item, okay?
About shelters, homeless shelters.
No. It's not about shelters. It's about a very specific shelter in Highland Park
And how
and funding for it.
It's not in a very shelter. There's specific shelter. There's one
It's a
shelter.
very specific shelter and it's funding. That's what the item's about. I'm just reminding you what you need to stay on topic on.
Okay, all right, yeah. But yes, my name is Oscar Muhammad. I speak for the oppressed. I speak for the struggling poor, and I speak for culture change. But it seems like we should have a change in this political system that we have, though. This political system misrepresents African Americans. This political system is telling us that we are the victim of a fallen society, and all of us have failed in this society. Seem like we just stick with the homeless people as being the only people that need help in this society. I think many citizens of America need help, and just giving attention to the few. But maybe we should do something with the shelters in Los Angeles, what they do with the shelters in Arizona. The people in the state of Arizona, they have the people, homeless
Sir,
people.
you're really off topic. These are all comments. You can say all this during general public comment, but this is a very specific item, and you need to speak to that.
But anyway, the mayor of Los Angeles is wasting too much money for the shelters. He should stop receiving money for the shelters in Los Angeles. We should change our leadership in Los Angeles because the mayor of Los Angeles do not connect with the black people. We need a black mayor. We need a black chief of policeman. We need to have black authority over black America. We should live by the Constitution that governs us. We should ask for just laws today. The future of tomorrow should depend upon righteousness and justice. If it don't, tomorrow will be the same day as today. Manipulating, broken promise, and deceit.
That concludes cards on special one. Mr. Cedillo?
Yes, I understand that. It's a special one. This is perhaps the most significant vote we'll be taking since we've declared an emergency. We are beginning to construct a public-private partnership, and we appreciate the initiative that was taken, and we welcome the resources that are being offered. I also visited the facility, also took inventory of what is being done there, and this is how we will solve this problem of homelessness. I remain optimistic and idealistic and convinced that we can solve the problem of homelessness, but you solve it one person at a time, one congregation at a time, one nonprofit at a time, one city facility at a time. And so this is the time to start. The time is now. It's for us to move forward and to make sure this did not meet LAHSA approval, but we intervened nonetheless, and it will receive approval from LAHSA. It is not the best circumstance, but it's a better circumstance than the conditions that men and women face tonight, because too many men and women will be forced to sleep in the cold on a hard cement floor or in the grass or in some other facility. And so I encourage all of us to support this motion, as I did yesterday when we did take the initiative to open the armory, and we've called on the city to take all its actions, pull its resources to do so immediately. We must transcend the way we do business in the city. We must transcend borders, both in our minds, our hearts, and our city. The time for us to act to address this problem is now. And so I call upon you, my colleagues, to affirm this action, and I call upon the community to move forward and to do what the season calls for us to do, to be people of generosity and to be people of faith, and to do and help our fellow brother and our fellow sister. As for an aye vote, I thank you.
Okay, there are no more members on the queue. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
Item passes. Mr. Kokorian for a special introduction.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam President. I'm very pleased to be able to recognize the 7th graders of Oakwood School who are here with their teachers, Matt Fagan and Casey Ahern. I'd like to ask them to stand up and wave. Oakwood is an exceptional school in my district in North Hollywood, and we have some very exceptional students here who are witnessing the City Council in action and the First Amendment in action for all of its warts and benefits. So we're very glad to invite you all here and welcome you to your City Council. Thank you, Madam President.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Kokorian.
Okay.
Now let's move on to Special 2. Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam President. Since the posting of the agenda, the city was informed that earlier today, the LA Housing Services Authority approved the All Saints Episcopal Church location at 5619 Monte Vista Street to be included in the winter shelter program. Immediate action is needed before the recess for the All Saints to be protected under the Winter Crisis Municipal Code Section 12.81 and Government Code Section 6898. Council must first make findings pursuant to Government Code Section 954.2 before considering the substantive motion.
Great. Well, let's vote on the findings. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Okay, now the
That matters now
matters
before you.
us. I see no members on the queue. I have no cards. Let's open the roll. I don't have any cards. Are the cards coming? This is on special 2? We're going to do 1 minute each on special 2. Mr. Wayne Spindler, followed by Antonio Ramirez, Dan, and Mr. Barajas.
You want me to go first?
If you're ready, sir, yes.
Just as Mr. Krikorian was talking about the First Amendment, the warts and the feathers, you pull another one. You pull another fast move on the public. I hope the people on Channel 35 are watching this. You see, they go for the punchline, the flashy phrase, the emergency this, the veterans that, in the LA Times and on KTLA. But why aren't you letting the public know about these things when you're making your agenda? It's not an emergency thing. Why are you not being more forthcoming with the public? And when that happens, you get our ire. You have to stay here longer. You have to listen to us. This is an important thing, Special 2, for you to support, and I want you to support it. The question is, why is this coming out of the woodwork, out of nowhere, pointlessly? Why don't one of you take $1,000 out of your pocket if it's so important, take $5,000 out of your DWP money, and throw it in there? Thank you.
The next speaker is Byron Barajas, followed by John Walsh and Antonio Ramirez. Byron Barajas, are you here? I called your name, sir. You need to come to the podium if you want to speak.
I'm here.
Mr. Spindler, you're not. I have not called you yet. Thank you, Mr. Barajas.
Yeah, thank you. Well, no, actually, this is great. I actually had the idea of turning a stadium or some facility, a big gym, and allocating it for shelter for the homeless. The church, obviously, that's a given. But there are other sectors I think you should utilize. So this is just the beginning, I suppose. But you should have concentrated on other areas that would facilitate these shelter programs or other programs that would facilitate shelter for these individuals. Big areas, sort of like a military approach, so-called. Because obviously 17,000 unsheltered homeless people is a lot of people.
John Walsh, followed by Antonio Ramirez and Wayne Spindler.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, or J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. This concerns another poverty pimp issue. The people who run these homeless shelters make an enormous amount of money. And I just want to say that I'm not going to use up the full time. Now that the kids are gone, anybody who supports this is a fucking scumbag. And I got the right to say this by a federal judge.
The next speaker is Antonio Ramirez. I'm going to remind our speakers that Special 2 has to do with a very specific shelter being put on on the homeless service list. So please stick to that. Ms. Ramirez?
Thank you. I would ask the city to please provide a list to all of us who are outside and that would provide us a list of shelters that would outline or have a subject matter that says junkie shelters, wetback shelters, gang banger shelters, and law-abiding shelters.
Ramirez,
that way we will know that these shelters are safe, are ethically clean, and already been inspected. So provide us a shelter that is safe, not filthy, not full of bed bugs, MRSA, scabies, and all that stuff. Provide us a safe environment, at least a quality of life, so we can
Ms.
ride
Ramirez,
a Niño.
this is about All Saints Church. You need to stick to that item.
I understand that, okay? But I'm talking about if All Saints Episcopal Church in 5619 Monte Vista Street is going to be opening for the homeless, please provide us a safe one, maybe even a gang stalking section for homeless, for those of us who are being gang stalked, victims of crime.
Thank you, you, Ms.
victims of
Ramirez.
crime.
The next speaker is Wayne Spindler, followed by Eric Previn.
Skullduggery is the name of the day. Well, now we have special 2. Let's go for special K. We might as well go through the alphabet. It sounds good to me. How about my $1 million? Make that special
The speaker's
3.
off topic.
There's lots of
Mr.
special.
Spindler, you're not speaking on the All Change
Special.
Episcopal Church. You're
Yes,
not speaking
it's
on
very
topic.
special. As long as you have anything ending in church today, you get money, but that's probably because it's going to be Christmas. And of course, it's got to be a church. It can't be the Episcopal Temple. It can't be the Episcopal Mosque. No, other faiths don't get the money. Only these Christian Protestant fuckers get the money. You can't give it to the Muslim community. How about giving some of this money to any bona fide Muslim community shelter to tell them that we love you even though this bullshit's going on with this terrorism?
Next speaker is Eric Previn. Mr. Previn, are you ready? I just call Mr. Previn.
Yes, thank you, Council President Martinez. It is Eric Previn from CD2 again. I really want to thank Councilmember Cedillo for reaching out like this on such an important matter. I would, though, echo what some of the other speakers said, which I think is an important point, which is that when you do such a act like this, it should be done in advance, because you know that there are a lot of people who care and want to, A, thank him, B, speak about it, and so on and so forth. And to be constructive, I think in January, near the end of January, having a homeless count, we might, because of El Nino, consider retooling and thinking about maybe not so much a count as a rescue, because if it is what we expect, that's going to be serious. And let's do it in advance so people know and can thank you, share, and be part of this conversation. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Previn. That concludes cards on special motion 2. I have no more speakers on the queue. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Okay, item passes. We're going to move on to public comment. First speaker is Becky Dennison, followed by Jerry Jones and Nisha Ivias.
Good morning. My name is Becky Dennison with the Los Angeles Community Action Network, and we're here with community partners from across the city to remind you before you go on recess that there is still the homeless state of emergency that you haven't taken substantive action on. I agree with you, Mr. Cedillo. Today's the first action, but $20,000 for an emergency shelter is not what you promised and is not anywhere near what we need. We need to see the $100 million. We need to see it early next year. We do not accept that those funding streams are not available. They are available. The development fees that you just looked into that we've not been collecting, the TFAR fees that never get to affordable housing, the $87 million being used by LAPD. We need you to take action in 2016. We can't piece it together with $20,000 emergency grants. It's simply not acceptable. And we're going to submit to you about 1,000 letters signed by people from Home for Good who believe that you all can do more and must do more. So $100 million in early 2016 and $100 million a year ongoing is the very minimum we need to see a change in this city.
Next speaker is Jerry Jones, followed by Nisha Ivias and Zandre Johnson. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Jones. I'm with the Inner City Law Center, and I want to urge the City Council to move forward on homeless funding, to follow through on the commitment that was made on September 22nd at the Mayor and City Council's press conference right outside this building, to spend $100 million annually. That's the minimum amount it's going to take to see progress on this issue, and that money exists. Los Angeles is one of the wealthiest cities this world has ever known. Athens and Rome at their peak were paupers compared to the city of Los Angeles, and despite that, we have nearly 26,000 homeless residents in this city with nowhere to go, whose only sin or crime or common bond is the fact that they are either temporarily or permanently without housing and desperately and legitimately in need of help. Thank you.
Next speaker is Nisha Ivaz, followed by Zandre Johnson and Chris Coe.